Welcome back to Dime Gaming Bros podcast. I'm your host, Jacob, joined by my co-host, Yogi the Bear. And that's not a gay joke. That's just, you have hair sticking out of every direction of your wife beater.
I do like finding random picnic baskets in the park to pillage.
It is too hot for that, my guy.
Picnics or being outside in general?
Yes.
That's fair. Yeah, this week is going to be rough. It's not looking good at all.
I never liked his idiot friend.
The little one?
Yeah.
I never liked that show in general.
I can't even remember his name. And I never understood what Yogi was saying. He always, sounded weird.
Yeah, a lot of the Hanna-Barbera stuff I pretty much only appreciate because they, made the animation work on such a micro budget. And beyond that, the humor very rarely works for me. Obviously, old Scooby-Doo is great. I don't mind the Jetsons. I don't mind the Flintstones. But beyond that, it's just not really my thing. You watch some on Boomerang at Grandma's house.
I really, really miss Boomerang. I would watch that shit all day long. Just today, I was in traffic wishing for, the boxing glove gun because I would have used it, to put it mildly.
Yeah. Fair.
Not on myself.
Yeah. You would never harm
call
your
the
beautiful
hotline.
face. You would never harm such a beautiful face. Only others.
Right. So anyway.
Speaking of beauty.
Speaking of self-harm.
Uh-oh.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was developed and published by Square Enix. It released to North America on January 29th, 2019 on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It released March 30th of 2021 on Windows. It released February 10th, 2022 on Switch. And October 8th of this year, it will be re-released with every other game, sort of, on Switch 2, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series.
Well, that'll be 500 gigs worth of crap. It's a lot of games.
I would assume they run it like MCC.
Probably. That's still a lot of game.
Yes.
Good luck.
I would also assume that they probably just take, the Part 1 and the Part 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 and threw it all in one box.
Probably.
So, 2 collections and 3, whatever. I don't know.
Couldn't pay me enough to care about how this franchise keeps track of its chronology. I don't have that type of autism.
Yet.
No.
Yet.
I don't think it's going to happen.
The story is equal parts. That's because he had my dick in his mouth before the mic started.
That wouldn't have been tickling the back of my throat.
You're right, it would have been tickling your stomach. The story is equal parts simple and difficult. Very dumbed down summary is that Sora, Donald, Goofy go on adventures again through Disney worlds old and new, fighting Organization 13, reuniting with friends from previous games, and eventually defeating Xehanort, the villain of the series. This game pulls strings from every single Kingdom Hearts game to ever exist. So, the first collection, Kingdom Hearts 1.5, has 2 games, and the cutscenes of another game because the story is important to the story itself, but the game wasn't ported. I think it came out on the PSP, if I had to guess, and that shit's hard to port. So, understandable. They got the cutscenes. Good stuff. I did those. Kingdom Hearts 2.5 has the same thing. 2 games, a supercut of the story so far. I skipped the last game, Birth by Sleep, and the movie. That's just where I left off. There's another main game not included in the set. Anywhere online you can't get Dream Drop Distance. There's a couple of mobile games and and a couple of Facebook games that are delisted.
Oh.
And characters from everything show up in this game and mostly get closure. You can imagine my confusion through a lot of the conversations in Kingdom Hearts 3. There were a lot of, "Who the fuck is that?" asked. I honestly can't even get a straight answer online about how many games are in this series. I found 8 and 13 consistently. The basics are here, however. Fly spaceship to different Disney planet. Fight Heartless, Nobodies, and Organization 13. Watch 20-minute cutscenes frequently for the plot. No, that's not... I'm not talking about Goofy's ass. I mean the actual plot of the story.
That was a really bad Goofy.
That was horrible.
That was really bad. I'm sorry.
The planets were mostly cool. Returning Disney planets include Olympus. That was the starting level in this game. That looks so much better than past games. Usually that's just like the training planet, or the level grinding planet. But it was the opening planet this time. The Caribbean and Port Royal, the Pirates of the Caribbean, 100 Acre Wood. New Disney planets include Kingdom of Corona, not the beer, but the movie Tangled.
Fast and Furious reference.
Arendelle, Frozen, San Francisco, Big Hero 6, Toy Box, Toy Story, and Monstropolis.
That's not a bad lineup.
Correct. Moving on to visuals, I would say they're mixed, sort of. Some cinematics are absolutely stunning. Some are okay. I prefer the cartoony look. The artistic style changes, especially in like Pirates of the Caribbean. Everything looks more realistic than cartoony. It's not like lifelike, but it's a lot like duller colors and higher polygon count or something. I don't know. It looks different than Monstropolis. My one note for sound design that I wrote down, I'll probably ad-lib something in a second. TJ Miller still has a job, 0 out of 10 game.
Damn.
I do not understand why he was hired back to voice his character in Big Hero 6. Fuck off. Sound design, besides that, the voice acting was really, really hit or miss. Donald Duck fucking sucks. And so does Mickey. Like, really, really bad. I'm glad the subtitles were on because there were a whole bunch of things. I was like, what the fuck did that duck just say to me? Like, it sounds like he's struggling to talk like Donald. Like, talking around the thing you have to do to say the words. It was rough. There were a bunch of times running around where Donald and Goofy do shoutouts. Hey, something that you're looking for, a collectible, is right over there. And I would like stop running and pan the camera 360 and be like, bitch, where? I don't see it. But it is helpful to have them shout out that there's a collectible around somewhere. But it got really, really old in some places. Like, I walked into a market and they're like, hey, there's ingredients for your recipes somewhere nearby. And it's like, no shit. There's 20 food carts on this street. I am smashing them all up and trying to collect the thing. Shut the fuck up. I know there's stuff around. And they would just keep saying it. But the combat itself sounded really cool. There's a lot of fun sound effects. A lot of like, it's very similar to like the original game. It just sounds prettier, I guess. Like, they sound similar, just crisper or newer or whatever. Like, definitely re-recorded. Moving on to gameplay. All the usual stuff is here. You have your list of abilities and like skill points. And abilities cost skill points. You pick and choose what you can apply, which then allows you to do different things. I did not struggle with this list at all. I was annoyed with the very first game because your dodge roll, I think, is locked behind an ability. And it's like, bro, I don't have enough points for this. What are we doing here? But in this one, I didn't even need the consumable to increase my action points to use more abilities. I had it all pretty easily. You have equipment again, which are like different pieces of jewelry or whatever that give you stat boosts. That's all the same. You have a gummy phone. And it's really funny because Sora's like, what the hell is a cell phone? As if this didn't come out in 2019. You can take pictures with it of lucky emblems, which are just Mickey Mouses, like in all the Pixar games.
Oh my gosh, there's a hidden Mickey in the blood splatter of the child that fell off the roller coaster.
Exactly.
I'd be so good at being like a Disney mom.
Classic Kingdom, which is like those really, really cheap black and white quote-unquote video games that had like 2 or 3 buttons and like the still images that would only like light up as you move your character or whatever. I don't know what you call those.
No fucking clue, but I know what you're talking about.
But there's a ton of those in the game. Recaps of the story, a glossary of all kinds of things, characters, enemies, a list of treasures in each world, a list of recipes, a list of synthesis. There's a lot to track. I wish there was a fucking button to get rid of all the exclamation points because I've already fucking looked at this thing. Make it go away. This isn't a gacha game.
Mark all as red is one of the best things that has ever been added to games with collectibles or skins or whatever.
Like Marvel Rivals uses that against you. And I get it. It's free. They want you to buy shit. I get it. That's why there's no mark as red. I paid for Kingdom Hearts 3. Let me mark it all as red. Please. Make it go away.
But did you know you can now play as Cyclops with his iconic optic blast?
Yeah, and he kind of sucks. I've played against him a bunch, and he's pretty squishy.
I haven't had the opportunity to yet.
Something new in this game, you can upgrade your Keyblades. That was exciting. It was kind of a pain in the ass, because with each world that you play through, you get a new Keyblade. I don't really know the stats on if each one you get is stronger than the last. So I had a lot of analysis paralysis of like, well, do I wait and get a better one and upgrade that? Or do I upgrade this one until I get that one? Basically, though, this game was extremely easy. Like, it didn't really matter. But a lot of the ingredients that you need to upgrade Keyblades are locked behind like super duper endgame stuff, and I never saw that anyway. So, whoop-de-squat. Synthesis is the best it's been. It's very straightforward. There's a lot of things. I was able to synthesize probably the most in this game out of all the rest of them. Like, I got pretty far. And it's weird too, because in Kingdom Hearts 1, synthesis unlocked at like near the end of the game. It was like, hey, all those things that you've been picking up, you can synthesize stuff here. And it's like, I'm about to go kill the guy. Like, where was this at the beginning of the game? I had an issue crafting. I would craft something. Say, I would take 3 pebbles and turn it into a rock, because that's how rocks work.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't show up as a rock in my inventory. I would have to back out of both menus and then go back in, and it would say, hey, you have a new rock in your inventory. Kind of lame. This game has attractions, which are basically kind of sort of Disney rides for the most part. You have like a merry-go-round, you have teacups, you have the water splash town ride one, the I don't know what you call it.
The log flume?
Kinda. But there's a very
I'm never going to
specific
get to go to Disney before I
one.
die, so I don't fucking know shit.
True. And then like a pirate ship one, which I guess isn't at any Disney park. And that was a funny point that a YouTuber made. And you can just pop on one of those during combat and pretty much destroy the group of bad guys that are overwhelming you, and it makes the game easy as shit. You also have group attacks, which have been there the entire time, sort of different names for it. But it just has you as Sora and Donald and Goofy team up and do a big ShamWow attack. Again, making fights trivial. there are a lot of glowing surfaces in this game. If it's a wall and it has like the light bar rolling up, that means that you just jump towards it and you can run up the building like Spider-Man. I think Neo and Matrix does it too.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's Trinity. Whatever.
I think it's Trinity.
Yeah. You can just do that. Any tree or light pole or vertical stalactite, ice stalactite, you can dodge towards and swing around in a perfect circle. It's not a stripper pole. You're just like swinging around, and you can like use this to bounce in between 6 trees and like keep your air combo going or something. I couldn't figure it out. I don't know. There was, I forget the name for it. If you use the right bumper, you could like pause time and look at something shiny, and it would zoom Sora towards that, which is another part of these stripper poles all around the level design. You would like use that zone to go towards these things. And again, it's for platforming, it's for aerial combat. Never used it. But apparently that was a huge system, like even built into the Keyblades. There's like a special attack with each Keyblade for this zoomy system. I didn't have to learn it. This game was super duper easy. There are quick pages for magic and summons. So I think even in the first game, you could hold the left bumper and it would change. No, wait, hold on. Combat. There's always the list in the bottom left corner. You're always on that list. That's what you're using. The main button for it is attack. And that's what your attack button is doing. It's pressing the attack button on the list. But you can use the D-pad and go down and use items and like menu your way through items in real time in combat and use a health potion or a mana potion or whatever, a firebomb, a Molotov. Or you can go down and I think there's a button for magic there, but there's also a shortcut where you press the left button and then one of the 4 buttons, A, B, X, Y, or X, circle, square, triangle, and use 4 different spells. But in this game, you can use the left button and the D-pad to scroll up or down your pages of spells and use more than 4 shortcuts. And that was pretty cool, but it often fucked me up because I had Cure on the second page with all the summonses that I didn't plan to use. I was just like, yeah, sure, throw it in there just because. And I would like Cure, which uses all my mana. I'd get distracted fighting, and then I'd go to like throw a fireball, and I would use a summons instead because I was on the wrong page. Like, fuck! As mentioned before, this is definitely the easiest game so far. The balance is fucked. I don't know why. It's whacked. And after it released and they got that feedback, they went back in and gave you like free abilities to apply to your character that make it like you can't refill your magic bar until you do something. I don't remember what. And it was like, instead of changing the balance of the game, they threw in skulls for you to modify the game. But that's not fixing the game.
No.
Like, if you start applying skulls to Halo, that doesn't fix Halo 5. That just changes the experience.
True that. Somehow still not as hard as Halo 2 Lasso. Despite the fact that Halo 5 is mostly bullshit.
Well, I don't even remember
I'm getting flashbacks.
Halo 5 being easy or hard. I just remember the balance being fucked.
Yes.
But skulls don't fix that fuckery.
It sounds like some of the ones for Campaign Evolved might somewhat, but that's not the point.
Yeah, right. The Pirates World in San Francisco especially are huge. Pirates, I would say, was the best level of the game. Which is weird, because I haven't appreciated their levels in the other 2 games, main games. But this one kind of, like, goes for Assassin's Creed Black Flag pirate ship combat. And it's kind of fun. It's easy because it's still a kid's game, like when you boil it down. But there's a huge map that you can explore, and there's a lot of treasure chests to find, which is thematic, and you just float around the Caribbean and shoot pirate ships and explore these islands, and you can just fuck around for quite a while. It was a lot of fun. San Francisco sucked. It was just a square map full of buildings that weren't attractive. Like, I just wanted to fly around like Batman and look for treasure chests from the sky. And I didn't really have the greatest way of doing that. And I was bored, and I heard TJ Miller's voice, and I was like, just get me out of here. Like, I would just want to be done with this game. I've done a horrible job explaining this.
Not really.
I've talked about the mechanics, but the overall vibe of the game did not feel good. It felt raw. It felt underbaked. And when it came out in 2019, I was like, oh, okay, COVID fucked with it. No, they announced this game in like 2007. They'd been sitting on it for 12 years. And it is raw as fuck. And there's no easy thing to point at. Like, the balance is off, and it's very easy to play. I was choosing to not use attractions just to, like, stimulate my brain and find other ways to win. What else? There were the voice acting, well, I guess the script, I should say, was kind of inconsistent as a passive fan that did not understand what was happening despite playing most of the series, which is kind of a complaint, but also, like, I'm not the guy that played Kingdom Hearts 1 when I was 7 and was on the internet through all of high school tracking the story and reading fanfic and, like, following it. Like, someone from Organization 13 goes up, I'm like, oh, that's Axel. And they're like, no, that's Zemnon. Like, I don't fucking know, dude. He's one of the guys. He wears the cool coat.
I think this is where the Final Fantasy portion of this comes through way too hard.
It's not even Final Fantasy. That's specific to Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, despite playing, like, a good portion of the series, I had no clue through most of it. I was just like, okay, darkness, heartless, Sora, Kairi. I did as many, if not more, hours of research, like reading and watching reviews about this game, than I did playing it, because it felt off and I couldn't explain why. It's like, dude, maybe I don't know and care as much as I should. Maybe this is on me. But I found a perfect YouTube video made by Ask Your Uncle. It's called Kingdom Hearts 3 Was a Waste of Effort, which comes off a little rough. But, like, every single point in this almost 6-hour YouTube video is perfect. It's like, yes, that's what I felt. That's what I was thinking. An opinion that I found quite often was like, Frozen got glazed so fucking hard. And it is notoriously not Disney's fault. It's the director of the game glazing it. But at the end of the game, when you're in the Keyblade graveyard, which was teased at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, and all those other characters from the other games, the Facebook games, and I think it's Dream Drop Distance, where Terra and Agua and the other one, like, they are getting closure for their stories, and it's like a legitimate 15-second scene. And it's like, a lot of diehard fans have been waiting fucking 20, 30 years, whatever, to see their story come true, and it's like they hug in the end. But Frozen, like, Let It Snow gets the full 4K cutscene. Like, it bothered me that Frozen got so much attention. It didn't really bother me about the characters, but I could still feel that inconsistency. And that's how the entire game feels, is like, I don't really have words to say what's wrong with this, but there's something wrong here through most of the game. Kingdom Hearts 2 walked the line really well with taking the familiar, blowing open the story, not retreading what was already loved, but adding so much lore and villains and drama, while still treating the audience like they aren't stupid. This is a kid's game that expects the children playing to pay attention, and I really appreciate that. I went into Kingdom Hearts 2 expecting Kingdom Hearts 1, again, bigger, brighter, whatever. But no, they were like, bro, there's the Illuminati, and they've been fucking shit up for 1,000 years, and there's another one of you because they've been cloning shit, and it's like, what? This is not the easy story I was expecting. But it was made for children, and it's really cool that they expect you to pay attention. They don't hold your hand. As an adult, I was like, wait, what? What is happening right now? So that's cool. Kingdom Hearts 3 felt to me like it was made for the diehard fans that have been following this story their entire lives, but opinions I found online showed that those fans felt snubbed by a lot of the fine details, how plot lines were wrapped up quickly or unsatisfactorily, like, we've waited this long for that? That's it? So I don't really like 3.
That's certainly what it sounds like.
It was fine. It was flashy. It had a lot of style. But it just felt like something was off the entire time, and I couldn't kick it. I'm happy that it sounds like Kingdom Hearts 4 is like turning the page on a lot of this and going in a different direction. Hopefully they like set up a good foundation so that a lot of people can just jump in at Kingdom Hearts 4 if they want and like miss some details that carry over, but still be like, we have a new villain. We have a new Illuminati or whatever, like new worlds. Because they still have a lot of Disney that they could dig from. And, like, it didn't even bother me because the Final Fantasy elements don't really bleed into it very much. But there was almost no Final Fantasy in this game either. And Kingdom Hearts is supposed to be, like, somewhat of a blend of those two things. I suspect that part of that is because Final Fantasy's been struggling to find their identity in the last couple of games. But still, this one had like a Sephiroth fight, like all the other games, but it was one of the easiest bosses or whatever. I don't know. I didn't find him. I've never beaten Sephiroth in any game. But like Aerith and Tifa and whoever the fuck that have always been your friends in Toontown or whatever the fuck weren't there in this game. It's very weird. It's very inconsistent. No like. Speaking of bad, no good, no like, let's talk about Return to Silent Hill from 2026.
For additional context, I have yet to play the game. I have basically all the bits spoiled for me. But I don't have like a personal connection to it. I'm not super stickler. I tend to be not very sticklery on lore, even for direct adaptations.
I don't know how far I got into the remake that apparently is bad. I don't know. But I would say I'm half-ish way through and deleted it because I lost interest. For different reasons. So
long story.
It also had like a weird vibe to it, and I don't know if it's intentional. I don't really know the ins and outs of Silent Hill 2, but it feels really hard on the misogyny.
Interesting.
Like, you're beating women.
I think, from what I understand, it does seem like it's more that the remake just makes what is mostly subtext way more into conscious text.
Yeah.
Because, like,
there's a lot of moaning in it, and as you're beating something that's clearly female. It's weird. Yeah. I don't like.
So, like, big spoilers or whatever, if you're unaware of this, the whole point of Silent Hill 2 is that you're following James Sunderland, who gets a mysterious letter from his wife.
His dead wife.
Well, you don't know that yet entirely.
You do know.
Well, in this fucking movie, you certainly do.
Oh. I'm pretty sure you do.
I don't know. It's whatever. You get a letter. You're like, oh God, I got to go back to Silent Hill, this place that I've totally been before, but in the movie for entirely different reasons. And then Silent Hill does Silent Hill things, and you get confronted with your own bullshit. That's about the broad strokes of how loyal this is, from what I understand. In terms of...
Get to the Pyramid Head part. That's how the movie feels. That was a funny.
And Pyramid was wildly underwhelming in this too. Holy shit. Okay.
Frequently is.
Okay. So as somebody who has a decent on paper understanding of Silent Hill, who has an appreciation for its influences and its influence, but I have yet to actually get around to it. I wasn't expecting this to be like super close. It's written and directed by the same fellow who did the 2006 movie, which we both liked for the most part.
Yep.
Which that was a rough translation. That was a rough adaptation of the first game with some elements of the third game. And then there was a really bad sequel that nobody talks about. Written by
also didn't mind.
I did not like it, but I was pretty drunk for that. Drunk watch, it was good. It was really flashy and obnoxious. And then made by a different creative team. And then the Return to Silent Hill is an adaptation of Silent Hill 2 that is basically just a sequel to the first movie, effectively. But that means it's also a sequel to the second one, unfortunately. But this thing genuinely doesn't understand any of what it's doing.
No.
It's really bothered me because every once in a while there was some visual or a costume or an idea that was like, that was done okay, or that was something interesting. It follows the broad brushstrokes of what Silent Hill 2 is, but it also pulls elements of Silent Hill 3 and the first movie to try to make it more connected to the town, when the story of Silent Hill 2 between James and his dead wife has nothing to do with Silent Hill other than the fact that they vacationed there on their honeymoon before she got sick. That's it. This movie decides, for some godforsaken fucking reason, to make her a resident of the town that he visits on accident. They fall in love. They get married. Turns out her dad's one of the dead leaders of the cult from the first movie and the second movie, kind of, which is a bunch of that's a bunch of Silent Hill 3 stuff. And that's why she dies. She dies because she's been getting poisoned her whole life or whatever. And she just happens to die when James isn't around. And then, she gets sick, and then he comes back, and then he kills her because she specifically asked for it vocally, and he clearly didn't enjoy it. Whereas the game, the whole fucking twist, which is super spoiled by now, but like the whole twist and how the game is functioning is like, it makes you kind of think it makes you think you're Leon fucking Kennedy. You are not. You are a scrubbed, washed up alcoholic loser. And it's moderately ambiguous whether or not did you kill her because she asked to, because she's sick and dying, or did you kill her because effectively you're tired of being a caretaker and not having a life because you married a woman who was sick. That's a deeply tragic story. And this movie just wants James to be a good guy. I hate it. I hate it so much. It pissed me off every time there was a good opportunity for them to be like, well, this is one of James's morally ambiguous traits. Or like, he took that a bit far. And this is why, like, no, he's just like a decent guy. He's an airhead, but he's a decent guy at the start. And then the town freaks him out because she's in a cult and she won't tell him about it. And then he gets wigged out, starts drinking, leaves her. Oh, they're not even married, by the way. They're boyfriend and girlfriend. Why was that change there? Is this some modern audience thing of like, well, the kids aren't getting married anymore? What the fuck was that about? And then he magically comes back, not in the chronology of the movie, but before the movie starts, he comes back, sees her, she's dead, and she's dying because of the poison or whatever, and then she asks him to kill her. In the worst beard I've seen in my life. Holy shit, that beard was such a wig. Holy cow. The twist doesn't even work. It doesn't work on a thematic level. It doesn't work tension-wise because it's so fucking obvious she's dead the whole time. But also, it isn't like, well, clearly, like, the Silent Hill 2, the game, is like, is this trippy because the town's being weird and reflecting your trauma back out? Or is it because James is actually kind of a loser? It's both. But, like, the movie is just like, well, he's like a regular dude who does, like, regular dude stuff. Like, he's just there. And it's just the town's evil and has evil people in it. And none of his choices are fucking ambiguous? Like, at all? Seriously! I didn't think this movie was going to piss me off because there are still a handful of things that are like, that looked pretty good. That was interesting. They take all of the subtlety out of it, which it sounds like the remake does to an extent, but nowhere near like this. They remove the subtlety. They pull it all to the forefront. They do the literally every woman you've encountered in this game is your dead wife, actually, which is the subtext of the game of like, they're all not real. They're representations of how you view her, whatever. They just make it obvious. They have a whole revelation scene about it. The only thing that was accurate was the boss fight where he fights his dead wife in a bed with tentacles. That was the only part. What the fuck? It wasn't scary, Jacob. I wasn't scared by this.
The effects were
horrendous.
Yes.
They looked worse than both of the previous movies.
Yeah.
By a wide margin.
That's
what I think about this movie. It's a fucking fart.
That was like the one note I wrote was like, this movie would have killed it like 25 years ago. That's how bad those effects looked.
Like, there was a couple of things that they did with some prosthetics that were like enhanced that looked okay.
Yeah.
But like,
everything else was like 2000 CGI. Like,
on a good day.
Yeah.
It was rough. Like, the tone was off. The creatures weren't that interesting. The creatures that follow from the other entries are done worse. None of the characters are interesting at all. They try to pull influence. They try to make James a good guy. And like I think your best interpretation of the original game, from what I understand, is like James is on the good end is like kind of a nothing burger. Like, at his best, he's a neutral guy who made some moderately shitty decisions. I'm not saying that's the canonical option. That's what I'm saying your best interpretation is. Mostly it is, yeah, this guy's a piece of shit.
Yep.
But, like, there's at least some wiggle room. There's some different endings and whatever. At least they went with the in-water ending as canonical for the movie or whatever. Oh, my God. It pissed me off so much.
Aliens.
They tried to add in elements from the game, like Eddie, which go nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, they have just this other random guy who somehow is still alive in Silent Hill after, what, a volcano goes off or whatever the fuck their explanation is. And he's just clearly a massive piece of shit. And he's like, I'm in my dream world now because there's no one here to tell me what to do. And I can, what really felt like I can just go around raping children. That really, really came across very much gross.
What?
Whereas the guy in the game was a piece of shit and he ends up being a boss fight. But, like, not, like, it was there for 5 minutes. He just yells at a little girl and then, like, hits James over the head and then he's gone.
It's really frustrating. I thankfully have forgotten most of the movie. I just sat there, like, face in my hand, like, this fucking sucks. But my biggest takeaway was the movies need to stop adapting the games. They need to do what the games have been doing recently and do something else. Mm-hmm. Like, do the Silent Hill F, or I forget what the name of the free one is, where like the two girls bully each other and one of them kills themselves because of the other one or whatever. But it was like 3 hours free right when the Silent Hill hype train kicked off a couple of years ago. Like, do something like that. Leave the OG games alone, because you can't fit a 30-hour horror game and all its really good, beautiful details into a 2-hour movie.
No.
You just can't.
No, it's very
it
like
sucks.
The couple of adaptations we get that are like a relative one-to-one, or at least attempting to be, are usually much shorter pieces of media, or they're cartoons, which usually just pans out better for everybody. Like, yeah.
If you told me Zack Snyder was trying to do Silent Hill 2, I might listen. I might lend an ear to you.
I would go, this is probably going to be that's just Sucker Punch. That's just Sucker Punch. Not as trippy, but like that follows enough. The vibe's there. I can see it. Never mind. You put an idea in my head.
Even the director's cut isn't 6 hours long.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
give Zach like 6 hours and maybe he could get close. But even then, he's not going to get your favorite detail from Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, no. Like, they had the radio follow, like, he picked up a radio. Yep. Pyramid Head's here, which was one of the things that was kind of annoying in the first movie, because Pyramid Head specifically is from Silent Hill 2.
Yep.
Because he is the mirror directly to James of, like, these are all his worst traits taken to 11. He's a silent, stoic monster.
Bully.
That's all, like, it's supposed to be fucking obvious, which is why I was kind of frustrating when he pops up in the first one, but he's also a piece of iconography. Yeah. They didn't really get into that, they just let him do his thing. In this one, it actually feels like a fucking afterthought. It's like, yeah, he's here, I guess. They show you his eyes for a second, it's like, oh, that's James's eyes, and it's like, but this is in direct continuity with 2 other movies that don't acknowledge that. That makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
The daylight scenes looked so bad. There was some of the stuff at night and some of the stuff like in the apartment building between a bunch of really bad like flashback scenes. There was a few scenes where it looked like the sets were done really well, like him going up the staircase and like.
I remember that the practical sets did look good when they actually used them.
Yeah, when they used them, some of them were shot pretty interestingly. Like,
the creepy crawly walls. It's like, oh wow, that's like an actual wall that's crawling. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I think the performance, not the writing, but the performance from the lady who plays Mary and what's the other lady's name? Stripper Mary, the other one. Like, I thought she did okay.
No, that's the kid.
Laura's the kid. I think she did okay with the material she was given, but like that's not saying anything because the material's shit.
Yep.
It wasn't tense. It wasn't scary. Even the stupid bullshit jump scares didn't get me.
Oh, not at all.
The nurses were done half as well as they've been done previously. Like, you would take all the scary bits out, they're not scary, the tension's gone, it looks like crap most of the time.
The fucking remake with the nurses is pretty good.
Oh no, you were ranting at me for like a week about how much that freaked you out. I look forward to pissing myself. Like, the dialogue was horrendous, the action wasn't actioning, the stealth, the scary stealth tension wasn't good, the geometry makes no fucking sense, and not in a like, oh, you got all turned around in this weird... It just doesn't make any fucking sense. The cult stuff... I think that's the biggest root of it, is like they just wanted to pull stuff from other games and jam it into Silent Hill 2. Like, the tragedy isn't that Mary dies because her father was evil, and then James leaves her for 5 minutes. It's she got sick because that happens, and then James neglected her. Like, that's so different. Dookie!
Oh yeah.
When I started it and it opened up on the daylight scene in the mountains, I genuinely thought I was watching a car commercial, but like a really bad one. Like, it was shot like one, it was oversaturated, the green screen looked horrendous.
Oh yeah.
The dialogue was horrible.
Yeah.
And then it made me feel slightly better as soon as he got into the town. I'm like, okay, this doesn't look as horrible, at least it's stylized bad.
No,
and then it gets worse again.
That opening scene with the green screen looking down the cliff, I was like, oh, that's what we're doing. Oh boy.
Dear Lord. I think
I'm pouring another one preemptively.
I did it sober.
We're here to talk about why you hate yourself.
I think everything in this show is a good reason for why. I don't need to explain myself.
All right. In the list of all video game movies and TV shows that we have covered so far, where does this fall?
It is below Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and it is above Warcraft. It is in the bottom tier of 1.5 stars or lower, which are all basically equivalent in my mind. It is technically better than Revelations, because that was an acid trip, but bad.
Wow.
This is technically coherent, but dog shit. That Revelations was insane and didn't make any fucking sense and looked weird.
I have more fun with Revelations. So this one's 2 under that. They're the same rating, 2 stars. But this is under Doom and above Super Mario Galaxy.
This is also this is above. No, this is below Doom. Okay, so if the original Silent Hill is 10 and that is pretty high up for these fucking movies.
Yeah, true.
Silent Hill is 21 out of 35.
How'd you number them? Oh, no.
You can just put ranked.
Edit.
It's the nearest comparable thing of quality is probably Warcraft, Uncharted, and Monster Hunter.
Silent Hill is number 9 for me, and then Revelations is 24, making Return to 26.
Ours are basically interchangeable on the bottom, but yeah,
pretty much.
This is below the it's a nothing burger. Like,
oh yeah, no, this is bad.
Yeah, like we have the nothing burger of like Sonic 2, the first Super Mario Bros. Movie. And Hitman, which I do like, but that is really a nothing burger.
I already put mine away. I don't care anymore.
And then this is we are entering the dog shit era.
Yeah, this is bad. Bad dog.
It was rough. This is real rough. Real rough. We got a lot of fun news though. From IGN.com, Bethesda and id Software have revealed a first look at Doom: The Dark Ages Revelations, a new campaign DLC that's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series with a July 7th release date. Wounded and betrayed, the Slayer is thrust into a merciless purgatory only escapable by confronting haunting truths and forging new strengths with the help of a mysterious ally, an official story description shared in a post from Bethesda said. He must ascend from the prison of his mind and fight an abomination of the gods to set his followers on the path to freedom. While the chain spear was no doubt the show stealer for the presentation, Dark Ages Revelations is said to come with deeper puzzles, new demons, and new mysteries to uncover. The Repertorium 3.0 update, which adds more customization options, improved passcode generation, and more, will launch for free for all players alongside the expansion in July. Those who own the DLC will also gain access to 3 new maps, demons, and additional weapons. Dark Ages Revelations delivers the installment's first campaign expansion when it launches this summer. Those who own the base game's premium edition or collector's bundle will access the expansion for no extra cost, but it will be available for purchase on its own for $20. Also, shout out Doom Eternal is getting permanently dropped to $10 digitally on all storefronts. Mostly unrelated. This does look fucking insane. I want it now.
I'm glad because it fucking took long enough.
Yeah,
Holy
they
shit.
had to put this on the back burner.
I thought for sure this was canceled. Because
it also sounds like they're planning on doing more than one, which is not what I was expecting.
that was the plan.
I thought it was only announced that they were planning on one.
I don't think so.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because I got the Super Duper WoW edition when we reviewed Dark Ages. And I was like, boo-hoo, what was me? I should never have done this.
Yeah.
Never pre-order. Ah, you idiot! But no, I already re-downloaded Dark Ages because I had deleted it, and I would really, really like to finish that plat because I'm like right there. I just need to master the 2 weapons I have left or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited to play some DLC.
Also, canonically, this is like the crossover story between the original Doom era and New Doom era. This is post Doom 1 and 2, but before Eternal's like expansions. So
you never played the Eternal expansions, did you?
Nope, not yet. That's my plan for the summer is I want to do my second run of Dark Ages and I want to play the 2 expansions and I'll probably play this expansion. That's my big plan. And then when that is done, I'm starting Elden Ring.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's the agenda for the summer. But this does look very good.
Why do you hate yourself so much?
I don't even think I'm going to hate Elden Ring. I think I'm just not going to have as much fun as people want me to. Like, I've lowered my expectations so much that, like, I think I'll be like, this is decent. It's just really not my thing. Like, I've been telling everybody, it doesn't quite seem like it's my thing.
Please tell me that I was the one to lower your expectations.
Oh, yeah, it was mostly you.
Yeah.
I didn't have high expectations in the first place. So I was like, oh, it's open world. I don't really like that. And then I heard the reviews and it's like, yeah, it's like 200 hours. I'm like,
it's fucking you.
But I have a copy digitally.
Not derogatory. It's fucking huge derogatory.
Yeah, no, like I have a copy. My roommate has offered to just let me use his PlayStation in the meantime. And I was like, cool, I got to wrap up some other stuff because I have some bullshit I got to do. I'm going to do it.
There's still no co-op in it. What the fuck? This was made for co-op. Oh, that drives me crazy.
Yeah. Doom Go Burr. Yep. And also they're going to be releasing the soundtrack from the new composers for this as well, which I guess is, a big deal given this franchise's fucking history right now.
It's literally coming out next week, so yay.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'll probably talk about it next happy hour.
That's fair.
From Polygon.com, the rumors were true. Nintendo is remaking The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for Nintendo Switch 2. The remake of the N64 classic, widely hailed as one of the best games of all time, will arrive in 2026 to mark The Legend of Zelda's series' 40th anniversary. Little was shown, but the game looks to completely overhaul the look of the original N64 version, which I always thought was kind of ugly. Like, even as a kid, I was like, why are all the fucking buttons on screen right now? And I look back on it now, like, yeah, I was right as a kid. Like, why are all the fucking buttons on screen right now? They make manuals for that. I'm old.
Unfortunately, that is true.
And depart drastically from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom's visual style, which is good because ugly. Nintendo describes the new Ocarina of Time as being reborn on Switch 2.
Whoa.
Yay.
The trailer did look pretty good. Like it's like a reveal trailer, so there isn't really any gameplay in it, but it looks good.
This will sell a lot.
It does. Unfortunately, Nintendo is one of the very few companies I actually trust to do real remasters or real remakes when they're doing it. Like the fact that they've done 2 or 3 games in that, like they went from doing like Link's Awakening and one of the other ones I don't remember.
They've done Link's Awakening fucking 4 times already.
That's true, but like the most recent ones where they like adjusted the angle. It's no longer a top down, and they chibi-ified it a bit. Like it's definitely a different game now. I'll give them that, and they're not like half-assed, which is nice. I think I only played Ocarina of Time like once or twice. Zelda is really one of those things where I'm like, this feels like I should be way more into it than I am.
Yeah,
and
me too.
I've played it, a few of them here and there, and I'm like, that's okay. That's cool. That looks fun. And then I'm like, I got other options though.
It's so
I just don't think
formulaic.
I just don't think I got the hook early enough in life.
You get the Earth Temple, you get the Water Temple, you get the Fire Temple, you beat Ganondorf.
Yeah.
You see some sexy fairies sometimes.
I think if I played this like when I was 9 and really got into it then, I think I would definitely, that would be one of my main things. But now I'm like, I appreciate the innovations made by all the different types of games they've made, and I like the constant changing what they're doing, but it's just not really my thing.
I have Wind Waker upstairs, and I'm really excited to play that one because that one looks distinct from all the others.
You would probably like the
by a lot.
Triforce Hero games. Those are like weird spin-off between major titles. They're like co-op based or co-op eligible. You'd probably like those.
I don't know, maybe.
Different timeline.
I don't know anything about them.
From PCGamer.com. The Wolf Among Us was one of Telltale's most loved games, and when the studio returned to life under new management in 2019, one of the first things that they did was announce The Wolf Among Us 2 is happening. Waiting. A 2024 promise that, yes, the game was still in development was the most recent update on the situation until this past week. A new trailer for The Wolf Among Us 2 appeared at the Summer Games Fest showcase, giving us a slight but pleasantly fresh look at Bigby's upcoming adventure and some of the characters and headaches he'll face as he investigates a new mystery. Homicide. 6 total so far. Each case, husband and wife found shredded. People are dying. Some monster is out there. Word around the precinct is you're the guy to call. The wait for The Wolf Among Us 2 has been unexpectedly long. You can say that again. I was in fucking high school when I played it. Freshman year. Shut up. And occasionally peppered with rumors that the whole thing had been canceled. That's an understatement.
You're just salty that I reviewed it on the show, so you couldn't.
I don't even remember if I was ever going to. As PC Gamer's Harvey Randall noted in 2024, to say that The Wolf Among Us 2 has had a troubled development would be like saying that a highway pileup has had a mild impact on traffic. It was originally meant to come out in 2018, a full 8 years ago, but Telltale's closure later that same year obviously had an impact. Telltale has finally committed to a release target, albeit one that's not very specific. 2027. Yeah, that's it. The good news for fans is that there's something closer in the moment. The Wolf Among Us Remastered is also in the pipe, and it's set to come out for 2026 holiday season. Makes sense. The bigger thing for that would just be optimize it so it consistently works. These games don't really age very much, graphically speaking. The animations age, but like just make it function consistently. I think out of their whole batch of games, Wolf Among Us was definitely one of the more polished ones. But yeah, it's probably gonna be $20, so I'll probably get it just to see how different it is. But there's real progress, not like last year where they're like, here's an image. It's just like, no, we have an actual fucking trailer now. Like it's not an announcement trailer. It's like no, it's coming. So we'll fucking see how that goes.
I get to hit your angry button and skip one because I'm the resident professional here.
I'm gonna call you slurs. From
GameInformer.com, Capcom has revealed Resident Evil Veronica, a remake of Resident Evil Code Veronica.
I was actually going to ask for your opinion on this because I don't know shit.
And it's launching next year, presumably on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, and Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. It was revealed during the Summer Game Fest showcase, and it follows Capcom's most recent Resident Evil remake, 2023's Resident Evil 4 remake. The original Resident Evil Code Veronica is a bit of an in-between game that takes place after 2 and 3, but was released after 3. It originally launched in 2000, received the HD treatment in 2011. Given Capcom's track record remaking its Resident Evil games of late, this remake wasn't all that unexpected. It was.
Yeah, that's a
expected.
fucking lie.
Yeah, it was expected. Like, demanded, I'd say. This remake seems to be following the original game closely, with Claire Redfield heading to Paris, France, to infiltrate an Umbrella Corp facility and rescue her brother.
Huh?
To rescue her brother...
Chris?
Resident Evil shenanigans ensue, and it's a great time. I'm glad that they are remaking it because I have heard a whole lot that it is the bestest Resident Evil. I don't care that they dropped code because apparently I don't know too much about it, but I think that's like the password at the end of the game or whatever. So it's like, okay, whatever. I don't know. I don't really care about code getting dropped. I watched the trailer. It looked cool. It had some weird, like, timing things to it. Like, I couldn't tell if it was a gameplay trailer or if it was a cinematic trailer, and it felt like it had been translated roughly or something. There was some weird, like, timing spacing to it. They also said afterwards that the trailer was a fake out or whatever, that it's not first person, it's third person, or the other way around. I forget. Yeah, cool, great. The RE engine looks amazing, and it keeps getting better. The engine looks fantastic. Like, these games just keep looking better and better and better and better. So I'm really excited to finally experience Veronica because that's been the missing link.
It looks shiny. I'm down. Another cool thing with I recently upgraded to mid-tier Game Pass rather than base Game Pass, and like all of the Resident Evil games are on there. I can't say I'll do it over the summer because I already have a billion other plans, but I'll get to them soon. I have the opportunity to play them at least, so that'll be nice. I set my Widow Death went some new shit.
Have you played any of them?
I have played the first remake of 2. So what most people can not 2, sorry, 1. So what most people consider actually 1 because that's just what they went with moving forward. Original 4, 5, Revelations, both of them, 7.
Really? I didn't know you'd played 7.
Yeah, no.
I forgot.
Damn, you did ask for more. Yeah, I just don't look forward to doing it again because I'm a little pee-pee poopy head. I think that's it.
Okay.
Maybe like one of the mobile games or something.
Brain freeze.
Don't do that, stupid.
It's too easy to do with this thing.
Oh, his brain hurt.
It hurts my spine at the same time, too.
That's rough.
Oh, fuck.
Well, you're dying. You know what else also hurts my brain?
Just say it.
Until Dawn 2 is a thing. From PlayStation Blog, Until Dawn 2 is a standalone experience featuring a brand new cast, a whole new world to explore, and true to form, a modern horror experience packaged with intrigue, emotion, twists, and the kind of choices that will keep you up at night. Your decisions will still shape the story, who falls victim, and who survives until dawn. Da-da-da. Our cast this time is a group of ghost hunters, the faces behind the wildly popular paranormal channel Dead True, only they've never actually seen anything supernatural, obviously. The scares they are known for are, let's say, a little staged, but all of that changes when for the first time they come face to face with real horrors and must start living up to their reputation to survive until dawn. Da-da-da. Here at Fire Sprite, we took the reins on Until Dawn 2 as our first release since Horizon Call of the Mountain, where we collaborated with our friends at Guerrilla Games. Like many of you, a bunch of us on the team are massive fans of the original Until Dawn, so getting to build the sequel has been a dream come true. Part of our mission from day one has been honoring the core's DNA, character drama, tough choices, and those unforgettable horror moments that make the first game so special. In the coming months, we'll be rolling out more story details, diving into Until Dawn 2's gameplay, and of course, introducing our new cast. Amongst the characters in today's reveal, you'll have spotted the return of the enigmatic Dr. Hill, played once again by the fantastic Peter Stormare, my favorite dirtbag in any piece of media. He's so slimy.
He tops Steve Buscemi for you?
Yeah, because Buscemi is inherently funny. Like, no matter how much they try to make him into, like, a creepy pedophile, I'm still like, it's Buscemi!
Hey, it's Randall!
Yeah, that's my guy. Stormare is consistently like, get away from me.
Yeah.
No matter what he's in.
Yeah.
We still got plenty more to share leading up to the launch of Until Dawn in 2027. I still have not played the first Until Dawn! However, I'm familiar with some of the other studios that have worked on theirs, like other works and other adjacent titles. And my buddy, who is a big choice-based game guy like that, he's big into that. We're planning on doing a game party. Like, we're gonna start at dusk and play the game, until dawn, because that's what he did for all the other.
Get out.
That's what he's done for like The Quarry and a bunch of the What are those other ones? Dark Pictures games. Like that's what he likes doing. He likes to have some friends over. Everyone like votes on choices and gets fucked up. And then the game's over roughly at dawn time. So I immediately texted him. I was like, "Hey, invite me this time." So that'll be cool. By then I'll have probably actually played until dawn.
Cool.
It looks good. That's really all there is. Hit it.
CD Projekt Red announced a new DLC for Witcher 3. It is called Songs of the Past. It's coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series and PC. CD Projekt Red is co-developing the expansion with Fool's Theory, a team comprising industry veterans who worked on Witcher 3. More details on Song of the Past will be released late summer of this year.
It looked good. They released 2 fucking images. I have a theory, which is probably just legit. I think they might have started developing this because they realized Witcher 4 is going to take too long. Like, maybe around the time they announced Witcher 4 was definitely going to happen, but before the reveal trailer.
Yeah.
That's got to be like 2028 at this rate.
I bet more than that.
I have a feeling they're like, it's been 11 years since Witcher 3 came out.
Yeah.
But the second DLC probably came out 2019, maybe.
Really?
Maybe I don't know. It was after 2015 at least. It's a slightly more recent. They're probably like, well, we still have like the functional architecture. We have all the files.
Yeah.
We could probably whip something up.
Right.
And I get that. That seems reasonable. I'm sure it'll be smoother and shinier.
Seems legit.
Yeah. Understandable as hell.
Are you going to be able to do this one without splooging?
Yes.
Are you sure?
The splooge comes after I'm done speaking.
All right, fine.
From PlayStation Blog, death was supposed to be the end, but for Lao Fei, warrior and wife of Kratos, a new adventure is just beginning. Awakening unexpectedly in a strange land after her funeral, Fei discovers the plans she put in place to protect Kratos and Atreus are now at risk. To save the ones she loves, Fei must go through the afterlife of the gods, the Everwen, where ruthless gods from across mythology vie for power in a land overflowing with dangerous magics. Fei has always been a formidable warrior in our story. She and Kratos can both hit hard and take hits, so one of our top priorities through the development has been handcrafting a uniquely fresh feel for Fei's gameplay that will also meet the high expectations fans have for the series. Combining the movement and fluidity from the Greek era with the Norse era's approach to world building and close ties with characters, we've crafted an experience that's given our team incredible opportunities to take exciting creative swings while staying true to the pillars of the God of War series. Coming soon to PS5, there's still no release date. It's definitely going to be like the end of the summer, though. They're absolutely just blue-balling this. They've released so much footage already. It's definitely done.
I figured fall.
Internet's mad. Don't care. Fuck you. You're retarded.
Yeah, 100%.
There are some.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
There's some ways of looking at like, oh, I thought we were gonna get another Kratos game next, and like because it takes place alongside Ragnarok, like maybe you wanted the story to continue moving forward. Maybe that's what you're more into. I can get that, and I don't entirely dismiss the like, oh damn, we're not playing as Kratos, because especially the last 2 games, but the series as a whole is a very big men working out their issues thing. So I do understand some people being a little disappointed. However, it's Faye. I don't care. Yeah, I might not get as blubbery about it because I'm not going to be quite as in my feels about my own issues. However, it's Faye. She's like the coolest motherfucker around. She makes Kratos sit.
No. She's the coolest mother. Continue.
Also true. When she is speaking, Kratos sits down and listens.
Yes.
Because he's a good boy, and she'll kill him. Yeah, me too. Everything about this looks fucking great.
Yeah.
The graphics look great.
The animations look good. That's
Really
what I
good.
was going to talk about. Like, her fighting style looks different from Kratos, and I'm excited for it. It's going to be a change of pace in gameplay, and I'm very excited for that.
Especially for how long it sounds like Ragnarok was, like game time wise. It sounds like it'll be a nice break. It's a little bit of both. It'll probably be shorter. I have a strong feeling this won't be a full $70 launch title. Don't quote me on it, but they might put it down to like 50, maybe. And also, sorry, I'm woke here. Stop complaining about middle-aged women looking middle-aged. Fuck you. Go away. My lobster too buttery. Fuck you. I hate that. I hate that so much. Not even in the woke way. I'm equally as horny. I don't care. It's just it's like, well, it would be nice to stop criticizing women for how they look. I don't fucking care. She looks great.
Stop banging the table.
I'm gonna smash your table. It looks really good. Even though they have Jack Quaid playing a Cosmic Cube, like a Quark Chungus character, I also don't care because I like Jack Quaid. Who cares? It looks really cool. They have a bunch of different...
I can't wait for more behind-the-scenes video of that, because he's being the dumbest goofball.
Absolutely. Also, that sounds like since this announcement, they've been talking about it a lot. It's also really nice getting to watch her head up her own marketing campaign. That's been really cool. She's just on everything. She's talking about it all the time.
Wow.
It sounds like this was in...
You could have ended that with just watching her.
Well, that too.
We get it.
I'm trying to, from the effect of like a mid-tier act, like a moderately well-paid actor of like, I do have other hobbies, I do other shit, but like I've been working on this for a really long time actually behind the other two games. Sounds like they've been working on this for like a long time.
Unfortunately, this is probably why she's not in the fucking Amazon show, because she's been working on this. I wonder if those timelines cross.
That's interesting. Maybe.
Maybe we should have predicted that.
That's probably true. Looks good. Sure, it'll be good. I'm gonna cream my pants. My girlfriend's happy as fuck about it, so I got no complaints. It's gonna be a blast. She's doing flips and shit. That pisses me off so much. Like, even removing the like...
Thankfully, my side of the internet has been like 50-50 retardation and you're retarded. And yeah. I've been updating all the you're retarded stuff.
Yeah, mostly mine has been decent too. It definitely feels like this message is where, aside from the fact that it's never really been an actual good message that's not astroturfed, it's really wearing out its fucking welcome. It's like, if you actually played the game, like, she wasn't just a fucking housewife. Also, she's literally a demigod. What are you talking about?
That was something that I was interested in I didn't watch all the gameplay. I
think I got like 2 or 3 minutes and I was like, I'm in.
I went as far as like half, I think. But when like the villains show up and imprison her in the cage or whatever, and there's like a whole lot of other gods on screen, and I couldn't tell you any of them. Mm-hmm. I was like, wait, what?
They had a great time researching this.
What is happening here? Who are these people? I've only seen one passively of like, I think this is like the cat god from India or whatever. Like,
yeah, there's a very like wide array of characters. The aesthetics look really cool.
There's like an Egyptian god up in there. Like, it's weird.
There's so much stuff.
It's cool.
So fucking cool. Oh my gosh.
All right, we gotta wrap the news up. From IGN. Kingdom Hearts 4 made a surprise appearance at June 2026 Nintendo Direct to reveal a first look at gameplay. It was a surprise because we were expecting that in another like 12-ish years. Just as the presentation was starting to wind down, Sora showed up to show patient fans what it would be like to wield the Keyblade once more. Additionally, Nintendo and Square Enix confirmed that it will be coming to Nintendo Switch 2 when it launches eventually. Gotta wait 15 more years for a release date. In a separate post, Square Enix confirmed that Kingdom Hearts 4 will also launch simultaneously for PC via Epic Games and Steam, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, as well as the Switch 2. A new installment in the action role-playing series developed and published by Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts 4, gives fans a look at some of the characters that protagonist Sora will meet in the mysterious city of Quadratum. An official description for the game set. Sora will once again journey to realms where new figures cross his path and new powers awaken his next chapter. Kingdom Hearts 4 will be available at launch on the Nintendo Switch. Holy shit! It's coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, guys! Holy fuck! Switch 2! Crazy. I really hate reading all these words sometimes. Like, Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. Boom. I don't like how it looks.
That's fair. I don't really dig it either.
The art style looked really bad. It looked like it was trying to be super ultra realistic, and I don't like that. Go back to cartoony. I don't think I even watched the whole trailer. I was like, wow, that looks awful, and clicked off.
That's rough. But
hopefully it is new chapter, and hopefully they hold to changing art styles through the whole game. So, whoop-de squat.
Yeah. From VideoGameChronicle.com, my obligatory cool things going on in the industry article. Canadian indie studio Studio Reset has been established by a team of former BioWare, Inflection Games, and Timber game developers. As spotted by game developer, Studio Reset is currently working on a neon noir supernatural mystery game set in a stylized Canadian cityscapes. I'm already gooning. In an FAQ shared with game developer, Studio Reset stresses that it's emphasizing sustainability. We want to build original worlds with focus, intention, and a team that can stay close to the work, the creative vision, and the players we're making it for. On the Studio Reset website, the team shares why they founded a studio together. The three of us have spent a long time making games together. Through all of it, the shipped titles, the hard lessons, the decisions that worked, and the ones that very much didn't, we kept gravitating towards the same qualities in each other, the same instincts, the same stubbornness about what matters, the same belief that the people you make something with are just as important as the thing itself. At some point, that stops feeling like coincidence and starts feeling like a reason. So we took everything we'd built and learned together, and we reset. Good pun. That's a nice blurb. You know, as much as PR is ever going to be, that's a decent justifying reason for why you and your buddy started another game studio. I'm interested in what their launch title's going to be, because I look at the noir shit. I like supernatural mysteries and shit.
I have a bit of news.
Uh-oh. What'd I miss?
Mick Gordon is doing soundtrack for a new game.
He's been getting some hot water recently, and I've refused to look into it.
Oh,
Nothing
my.
like huge, just enough from like people who know way too much about stuff. And I'm like, I don't have the wherewithal to be mad at him right now.
Weird. Also, you're still recovering from your wound of getting yelled at by him.
That's true.
His new game is Defect. It is a cyberpunk squad-based immersive objective.
Marathon.
No.
Hero shooter.
The one before that.
Extraction shooter.
Yeah, that one.
OG Marathon.
No. Fuck.
I'm so lost.
It came out last year. The Extraction shooter. It was the biggest one before Marathon. Post-apocalyptic, you're just looting and get to the elevator.
Arc Raiders?
Yes, thank you. It's the new one of that.
Yeah.
Because there's AI, authoritarian AI in the cyberpunk world. Blah, 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 blah. Mick Gordon do soundtrack, and it sounds cool. It sounds doomy. It looks fucking violent. It's like really dark and really cyberpunk, and it looked fun and good.
I like shiny thing. I like when Mick Gordon record his lawnmower and make music with it. At the beat.
I also have something that's been in the news that I want to talk about in Happy Hour because I have thoughts.
Welcome to the circus of value.
No.
Bioshock 2 is very good. I've been edging on it for a hot minute. I have played it considerably less than the first game. And just a lot of stuff kept getting in the way. It begins roughly 2 years before the Civil War and Rapture breaks out, so about 2 to 3 years before the events of Bioshock 1. You are an earlier model of Big Daddy called Delta, taking care of a little sister called Eleanor, and then turns out that one of the people that's involved in the process, not, what's her name? Not Tannenbaum, but Sophia Lamb, one of the other big people in the city who was vaguely mentioned in the first game, but not that much. Turns out that's her kid, so she decides to hypnotize you and make you shoot yourself. You go into a coma for 10 years, and then you wake up after, about 6-7 years after the events of the first game.
I don't like you.
That's fair. At this point, it's becoming involuntary, which is not a good sign. The Pope does it, though, so it's okay. That's my American Pope right there. He doesn't even get it. Eleanor has grown up. She is no longer entirely a little sister. It's kind of complicated. And because of how the big daddy and little sister relationship works with the biochemistry and all the bullshit they do to you, you are like intrinsically linked to her. So if she leaves Rapture, you will die or go into a coma, vice versa. So your quest is to go find her, because at a minimum you want to hang out with the child you've basically adopted, even though you don't even know who you are or what your deal is, because big daddies are weird. And then in the fallout of the death of Andrew Ryan and what's his name? Fontaine. There we go. After their death, lots of Rapture still exists. It's still slightly functional. There's still a lot of people there. So it has been taken over to some extent by Sophia Lamb, who originally was brought to Rapture to be their head psychologist. Little did they know she's like kind of a communist, but like she's really fucking not. So she, during the period between the start of the game and where you pick up, she was effectively excised from the leadership of Rapture and has just been kind of fending for herself, and she has started a cult, basically.
Typical.
As Mr. Beans, I find it... This game has a lot more things to say about cults and cults of personalities than it actually does about the politics of politics, which is totally fine. It is just one of the things that I think is really annoying when this game is represented as a direct counterpoint to the first game of like, well, we went so hard that way, we have to go so hard this way. And it's like, it doesn't even play out like that in the game. It's not as in-depth as the first game is whatsoever. It's not as consistent with its points. The bigger point being that Sophia Lamb is a cult leader and is a hypocrite. She's Stalin, if you really want to get into it. She's a dictator leading what is apparently a collectivist cause, which means all of her followers suffer the consequences of said thing, but she does not. And it also means that she's heavily, heavily influenced, as noted by the developers, primarily from Jim Jones, the Jamestown Master, the Kool-Aid thing.
Mr. Beans would be your parody YouTube video name.
That's also
channel name.
That's also my porn name.
Because your balls are not balls, they're beans. Or the size of beans. And I don't mean garbanzo.
What's the largest type of bean? Fava bean? They're still bigger than that, but whatever.
I was thinking more like pintos.
No.
Yeah, like the split kind.
No. So you as Delta need to go throughout Rapture in mostly areas that you haven't been yet as the player. This is like a direct follow-up to the first game. It does not handhold you at all in terms of understanding what Rapture is, what it was there for originally, what happened in the first game. It does not do any of that, which
I appreciate that.
I really like that. It is just super not new player friendly on that front.
There is a very clear tube behind it.
Yes. I think given what will end up being my total moderate criticisms of some parts of the game, it does feel more like a full-sized expansion than it does an entirely separate game. Mm-hmm. That's not really a negative thing. It's just an observation. So yeah, the story has you bouncing around between all of Sophia Lamb's former associates, followers, and whatever throughout different portions of the city, trying to find clues as to where she is, where Eleanor is, so you can figure out what her plan is for Eleanor. She basically wants to put all of the Atom into her to make her communist Jesus. It's really weird. Yeah, it's weird. Don't love that. That's a very weird place for the plot to go. But you get to explore a whole bunch of new areas, encounter new enemies, use new weapons, and yeah, that's the gist of the story, without getting into any real specifics. You end up having more complicated relationships with all of these other NPCs. You have some people who you would not expect to be on your side that will turn to your side. There are a lot of ideological stuff going on there of like, maybe this ideology is shit, but this one person doesn't entirely succumb to the evil of it and is actually kind of helpful to you for the majority of the game. A lot of people just start seeing through the cracks, especially because it's built on a foundation of being Rapture, which is made for objectivism, is like the big thing. So simultaneously, it's a failure of the game, and it's a failure of the people in the game, of like this apparent collectivist utopia would never work because it is not made for this environment. This environment was not made for that, so it was never going to work. But it also means that when you're getting into like the ideological and philosophical ideas of the game, you're not getting the best representation of them, even in like a very good faith way, because there wasn't really a revolution, if we really want to get vague about it, like that just kind of fell apart, and then one bitch just took over and was like, you guys are all going to be socialists and worship me now. Except it's not actually a socialist society whatsoever.
Women.
Like, for real. It's very odd. It's an interesting snake eating its own tail sort of situation of like their hands were kind of tied because it's supposed to be like a direct companion piece, but also it is going to be very ideologically confused. I don't fault it too terribly much for that. It's just don't come in expecting such a honed in experience as the first one is, whereas that game is tight from start to finish. Story is pretty good. I actually give a shit about Eleanor, despite the fact that she's never really given a personality. She'll just randomly invade your mind. Like, you'll just get hallucinations, and she'll be like, "Hello, Delta. You need to find me at this location. Please help. Mother is going to do things to me."
Typical.
True. That was decent. I guess a more tied to the story, the morality system actually works much better here than it does in the first game. Whereas when you have the little sisters, you still have the option to harvest or rescue them after killing their accompanying Big Daddy. If you harvest them, they die. You take all their atom juice, whatever. But over time, there's a blending of what you do with the little sisters, as well as what you do with all of Sophia Lamb's associates, former enemies, current enemies, former lovers, whatever, all of those people, and how you deal with those two situations does actually play out into the ending in a way that is way more organic than either you save all the children or they nuke the planet. Like, it's way more well thought out than that, which I do like. It's not, you don't have to have an entirely perfect playthrough to get the good ending. And the bad ending is still a reasonable ending. It's not just insane to be insane.
You just play this game so that you can talk about Big Daddies.
Maybe. Starting off with gameplay, I guess. Playing as a Big Daddy was very controversial as an announced decision because that was the worst fucking section of the last game. It was slow, cumbersome, it invaded the HUD, and it wasn't very enjoyable. They basically alleviate all of those problems here. You have a slightly modified HUD, so it still acts kind of like you're in one of their weird helmets. The fact you're also an earlier version of a Big Daddy helps because they are just designed different. You can also turn off that modified HUD in the settings. I don't know if it launched with that, but you can just turn it off. It's not that big a deal. You do have a somewhat slower movement speed than Jack in the first game, but not by much. And also, as with all of these games, when you collect enough tonics, you can make up for it by increasing your movement speed. You can still crouch to be very small and get into spaces. There's like no real restriction on movement. It just makes you jump not as high, and when you fall down, it go boom, boom. That's pretty much it. The big cool part on that is big drill hand go brrr.
True story.
Best weapon in the game. It's great. You get a bunch of different abilities that go along with it. You know, you can obviously just drill people. You can whack them. You can whack them with the drill. You can like bum rush them with the drill. It's pretty cool. Functions really well. It also has a fuel system. So because it's steampunk, you can't just run it forever. You do need ammunition to use your melee weapon. Well, it makes sense here because it is like a motorized thing. The majority of the weapons that carry over from the previous game are pretty similar. I think they all play a little bit tighter, a little bit smoother. The iron sights have been improved. Some of the ammo counts have been changed. The shotgun's different. The shotgun's so much better. It's a side-by-side or an over-under instead of it being a pump, which is weird because I love pump, but that pump was shit in the first game. You also get a variety of new weapons, including the fun one is like the harpoon spike gun. You can just shoot like a 1.5 foot long metal spike into somebody. And this is where it starts screwing around with Bioshock's really cool physics engine, because you can hit someone in the head and it'll nail them to the ceiling.
Yep.
And if you use a certain type of ammo, you can like electrify the wire or use an explosive or whatever. So it allows you a lot more options to play in the sandbox. There's also the rivet gun, which is something you faced as an opponent that Big Daddy's used. It shoots big rivets. It's pretty straightforward. That's kind of your base weapon, like your base ranged weapon. It's pretty good. You can get headshots with it on basic splicers if you're really good at aiming, which this game does not really help you with. But you can do it. You can still like one-shot them. I think the biggest negative in terms of basic like gunplay is there are a lot more enemies and they are also more spongy than they were before. Not by too much, but it's just enough where it feels like the gameplay, like the casual encounters while walking around hallways is totally fine. But when you are in an actual combat arena, it makes a notable difference because there are more enemies. They're way more beefed up. They're faster. They shoot different. And that's kind of frustrating because it does feel a little bit more grindy on that front. They have been changed design-wise because it's been a few years, so they're a lot more decomposed. They're a lot more tweakery. The spider slicers are so much better than they were before. They are still absolute tanks to hit. But instead of being the same design as the lead head splicers, they just have weird up claws and they can climb on the ceiling and shit. They do the climbing on the ceiling shit, but they're an entirely different like body type. It's really easy to differentiate them, which I appreciate. There's also two new enemy types introduced. One being the Brute Splicer. He's just a Hulk. Takes a lot of bullets. He'll whoop your ass. There's maybe 10 of them in the game. There aren't that many, but there's enough that they make a notable difference. They do come along in group settings as well. They do fight other splicers, so if you let them fuck around and cause enough havoc, they'll start going at each other. Same thing with like Big Daddies. You can still avoid fighting them if you so choose and let them beat the snot out of everybody else. And there is the Big Sisters. I like them in theory, but in gameplay, I fucking hate them. They were originally designed to be implemented in the story different than they were in the actual game, which I do think was a better version, a better story utilization of them, but it would also have been more repetitive gameplay-wise. So there's maybe 5 or 6 splicers in the game. Splicers, Jesus. Big Sisters in the game. They are grown-up little sisters who are now in a mech suit, and they're all fast and spidery, and they can use plasmids way too well. They're scary as piss. They have like shrieking siren sounds. I think it's every 4 little sisters you rescue or harvest, one of these will just generate out of nowhere. They give you a nice big lead up. They're like, Chah! And it's like, oh shit, I gotta go get ammo. They're bitch to fight. They are really, really bullet spongy. They do incredible amounts of damage. They also know how to use plasmids, which means they're also resistant to a lot of plasmids. My easiest cheese, which I just discovered not that long ago, is if you have a lot of freeze buffs enabled with your tonics, like chance of freezing an enemy with your drill or whatever, and you use the cryoplasmid, you can cheese it pretty fast. Beyond that, though, there are tanks for everything. Electricity, fire, melee attacks, different types of weapons. They're a bitch. Yeah. Gameplay, like exploration-wise, I think the areas are designed better with more intentionality as to placements of objects and like edibles and stuff like that. It feels a lot more consistent and planned out. However, despite giving you plenty of options to navigate the levels differently than your straightforward linear path, it really funnels you into them anyways because of the way the enemies are placed and the things you will need. Like, you can do it this way. It's so much harder to, and it will waste so much of your time. So it does end up feeling a lot more linear, even though it's really not when you actually look at how all the maps are laid out. It's 9 or 10 levels or so. A frustration point is the fact that 3 or 4 of them get fucking demolished when you leave them and you can't go back. It's an interesting story mechanic that I think they really wanted to show off their new water because the water looks really good when you have to run through it as the level is drowning. It looks fucking great, especially for being like 20 years old. But it is kind of frustrating if you did not get all of the little sisters or if you didn't get all of the audio logs you were looking for. Good luck. Between level transitions, there's also a few sections where you can run around underwater because you're a big daddy and you're a big heavy motherfucker. You sink to the bottom and you just slowly dawdle around. There are some enemies here. It's not that much. It's mostly just a show off and it looks cool. Because Rapture is really, really fucking decayed. So a lot of shit is just inaccessible. Looks cool. Just kind of a detour whenever it happens. Mm-hmm. And instead of using the travel system in the first one? The little pod system.
It's the something with something.
Yeah. You go on a train now, which is fine. It's just a little less shiny.
Train?
Yeah. You get to go on a train to transition between probably half the levels. But instead of you getting into a fun little weird pod elevator doohickey, yeah, it's all right. Collectibles are roughly the same amount. They are simultaneously better and worse. The audio logs are more diverse in what they include, including like different voices, different contexts. You'll have connecting ones. You'll have little mini stories. But a lot of them are not strictly important for this story, and that is very frustrating. Whereas the audio logs in the first game, all like 110 of them, are directly related to what's going on now. Even if they sound like they're not related, they are very directly connected. And in Bioshock 2, they just have more people, more opinions, more advertisements, more audio, like literal journals, more readings from Sophia Lamb's scripture. They all sound fucking great. They operate the same way, which is goated. They're just not as tightly relevant to understanding the story, which is a little bit frustrating. Vending machines are basically the same. Like, all the major mechanics are basically the same. There's some slight number tweaking. The big one, that is a massive win for me, hacking has been overhauled. It's so much better now. Instead of connecting the weird electricity tubes in a little mini game and wanting to blow my brains out, it's just like a basic QuickTime event with like a meter that you have to hit the red zones on. So much easier. Which you can operate during a fight, which is also very helpful. If you want to be daring, you can do it. They include, like, if you hit certain zones, it'll just give you damage and bump you out of the minigame. If you hit the red zones, it'll trigger a security alert. And then some of them, mostly vending machines and safes, have a blue, like, bonus zone. And if you hit that enough times, you'll get free shit out of a vending machine. You'll get extra money out of a safe, stuff like that. They also include a auto hack tool, like a hacking dart gun. So instead of it being a really shitty plasmid that doesn't work half the time, that plasmid still exists and it does work better now. But you just have a dart gun that you can shoot at turrets and cameras, and you can hack them from a distance. So you don't have to, like, shock them, waste the plasmid, get up close, and then fuck up the hack. Right. Like, it's way more straightforward. It's faster. It's cleaner.
And all those similar mechanics, but some things are improved, only made this feel like a DLC.
It really did. Really. It's like, damn, we really had like 2 years to greatly improve the fluidity of everything.
Yeah.
Other really big one, probably the biggest change, you can dual wield now. Not weapons.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't have to cycle between using your plasmid hand, your gooner hand, and your shit wiping hand.
Right.
You can just do both at the same time. So much fucking
just
better.
Like real life.
Exactly. You can shoot, and you can shoot your laser beams. Much, 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 much better. The final boss is really boring. Not like the first game where it's like kind of underwhelming and a little weird on a story level. This one's just like in the same exact fucking location, which takes everything interesting about it away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is, unfortunately, what sounds like a tacked-on multiplayer mode, which I have not played. The servers are down, and I will never touch. Yeah. So I have no real opinions about that. It just sounds like that was the thing they were doing at the time, that everybody was fucking doing. And there is also a DLC that I have yet to play, period. It's an expansion that takes place prior to the Civil War. It's not super directly related to the main narrative, but it
American Civil War or in-game Civil War?
The in-game Rapture Civil War.
Gotcha.
It is relevant to fleshing out some of the characters, but not in like and the doohickey from this level is about this. It's this thing from the DLC. It's just more fleshing out stuff. It got a really good reception. I would like to play it. I just haven't done it yet.
Yep.
Difficulty curve is just slightly harder than the first one. It's not hard. It can just be frustrating sometimes because the numbers are skewed in a particular direction and everything's a little bit more bullet spongy. It never feels like a ridiculous struggle to get through a firefight, except for the big sisters. They're a fucking asshole. I hate them. So yeah, basic difficulty options, exactly what you expect. I played on normal. I got enough to rage quit a few times, but it was never enough that I stopped playing for like days. Mm-hmm. Total story time was probably 12 hours or so, with moderate amount of collectible pickup. There isn't a lot of super optional stuff to do, which is cool.
This thing's always stupid cheap too.
Yeah, you can get it anywhere for like $5-10.
Yeah.
Launched at $60, I would assume. I've owned it on and off for ages. I think this is only my like third time playing through the story, I think. I played the original like 7th gen version, so the 360 disc on my modern Xbox.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's very good. There's some parts of it that I like more. There's a lot of parts of it I like less. It's like a really fucking solid A tier. It's just not quite as beefed up as it probably should have been to justify it. But the stuff that they do pretty fucking well. And it does not have the same creative team involved, which is notable. It's not really super interesting. It doesn't sound like there was some like big bit of infighting or something. It's just the original writers were like, we don't really want to go to Rapture again. But the studio wanted a direct sequel, so here we are.
Dang. Bioshock 2 released at full retail price of $60 back in February 9th of 2010. That's wild.
Yeah, even at the time,
I thought it was like $10 cheaper or something because it's smaller. Nope,
not really. I think it's really only smaller just because of there's a few less story missions, like 3, I think by comparison. You can't revisit as many of them as easily, so that will probably cut down on playtime.
Weird.
And there's definitely less collectibles, but not by like a huge amount.
Yeah.
So
cool.
It's a good ass fucking game. I just definitely have played it a lot less. It's a lot less quotable. There's some really good line deliveries, like the voice acting is really good, but it is a lot less, if you would kindly. You don't get bangers like that in here. You don't get Andrew Ryan whipping out the most heinous ideology you've ever heard. Which is fine, It's just a little it's not as memorable. But it's a very, very good entry.
You know who is memorable?
Our patrons!
Hey! Caitlin, Jeff Lawrence, over at patreon.com/dimecomicbros network.
Yes. And as you may have noticed recently, our Patreon has changed a little bit.
Shit's changing. It's simplifying. There's one tier.
Yeah.
Sign up.
Give
us your $1.
Yeah, give me $1. I can't even buy a soda with that.
I was trying to think of something that you can buy for $1.
I can't even buy a candy bar with that.
No.
I could get a coffee at a Cumberland Farms.
It's a pretty shitty tip. Give us your shitty tips.
Yeah.
Give us your 4 quarters.
I love shitty tips.
I'm sure, thank you to Jetpack Comics and Games, Rochester, New Hampshire. Cool people. They yell at us because we make commitments that we don't keep. And they yell at us, and that gets us back on track. And
then we give them money and we buy stuff.
Yeah, it's a really cool store, too. They sell a lot of cool stuff. You should go there. Next month, we're doing a co-op game. But the month after that, I have a spicy game that I have not told you about, and I will not tell you about because there's some really cool, interesting, weird news behind it. So, yeah.
The month after next, I will be going over Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh.
That one, I needed some more time, so I was actually glad you suggested doing a co-op game this month because I'm going to need some more time to chew on
the co-op game is going to be fun, too.
Yes,
so,
yes.
I'm excited to wrap this up and go do it. For fuck's sake, it's been 2 hours.
That is true.